The Skycade Minecraft server shut down a year ago after nearly a decade of service, and the YouTube creator behind it, Jack Sucks at Life, almost had nothing to do with its eventual demise. But what exactly caused Skycade and other large YouTuber Minecraft servers to finally meet their end? Well, we're actually going to dive a little bit deeper into that question today and hopefully find out some answers alongside discussing the current issues that are also surrounding Minecraft servers owned by other creators today. So sit back and relax and let's go back in time to 2014. On November 7th, 2014, Skycade launched with two core game modes. Back then, it was your typical prison-style server and another minigame server that hosted classics like Skywars and Hunger Games. And although the server had a decent start of about 150 concurrent users, the hype quickly died down and Jack Massey Welsh, the owner of Skycade at the time, decided it was in dire need of change and the server would go dark until January of 2015, with the announcement of a relaunch with a different focus later in the year. And just 10 months after the server shut down, it relaunched in November of 2015. This time the server focused more on factions, which would be its mainstay until the introduction of Skyblock just a few years later. And over time, the server grew to new player counts and highlights, even reaching a massive 1,000 concurrent players across all of the realms on December 17th of 2017. It really seemed like there was nothing slowing it down as each game mode release and seasonal reset would hit even higher concurrent player numbers before, and Jack's content was only growing larger alongside of it, including videos of a barely known Tommy Innit at the time, and another interesting creator as well.
Linear for some from assistance. Vitamin P.
Yeah, what? Jack, yes.
Do you know any famous Thomases?
Thomas the Tank Engine. But unfortunately, when Minecraft slowly began to fall from its high points in the public eye and the 2010s began to end, Jack's content had already started to make a turn out of being focused around the server and the game in general, and that reflected on the server activity as well. And my content also took a pretty decent turn recently to better content, so you should subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later. Thank you all for 2,000 subscribers. It really means the world to me. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel, and let's get back into it. The single best thing about Skycade during its original run was the focus from Jack and the rest of the staff team deciding to offer a huge non-pay-to-win experience throughout its lifetime. And till the very end, almost all of the offered items in the store were strictly cosmetic, with a few items that you could easily earn in-game just being easily accessible. The rank perks were all cosmetic from trails to glows, and any crate in the game would also give out similar cosmetic items, or items like I said were already easily attainable in the game. The core reason why I believe this server survived for so long, even after Jack left in 2020, they tried their hardest not to be consumed, as many servers do end up being, by the greed that can be manifested by some server owners. Now, I'm not too keen on the entire situation, and there are forum posts and other videos out there that explain exactly what caused the eventual downfall and subsequent closure of the server in March of 2022, but it seems like a litany of accusations of some pretty heinous behavior from a staff member, alongside some other staff members being overly cruel to some players, and that caused the server to flop into a realm of irrelevancy, and it just could not make a turn for the better. It was a hard one for me to see personally, especially because my channel's first real series was on the network, and Jack was one of my favorite creators at the time, but as always, all good things must come to an end. And Skycade finally ran out of time, which unfortunately also happened to another large server owned around this time by a group, or as some may even call it, a crew of creators.
Attention, the following video is going to totally kick ass. If you enjoy any of it and or have a large penis, please click the like button below. Enjoy.
KYR Speedy and the rest of the crew decided it was in their best interest to launch a server alongside their semi-regular Crewcraft Minecraft series, so on November 17th of 2013, alongside a group of developers, the Crewniverse server was finally born, featuring survival, factions, Skywars, and Skyblock, with prisons coming a bit later in its lifespan. The server, again, relied heavily on the support of the fan base of the crew, which at the time, they were still a cohesive group at the height of their popularity. Those big groups on YouTube are super popular. Speedy and Co were an enormous group, or the Vanoss crew were also huge hits on YouTube, so creating a Minecraft server was a no-brainer. Somehow, again, I was lucky enough to play on this server in its prime. I was 15 at the time of the release, and I had so many fond memories of making friends, playing an unholy amount of Skyblock after I got home from school, and enjoying my time while doing it. I even managed to make enough money in the game to get someone else to purchase a rank for me, which in hindsight was a really dumb decision of me to do and stupid of me to believe somebody, but it actually worked. I managed to get a middle-of-the-road rank, Commander rank, which was about $50 at the time, for absolutely free. But that actually brings me to the main issue I had with the server, and I was a bit blind to it at the time. The server had an ungodly amount of pay-to-win features, including a rank titled Master Chief, which was valued at a whopping $500 in 2014. Each of these ranks gave perks across all of the servers, including a comically large amount of money for higher ranks, unfair kits, and the flying ability on some servers. And a load of other scummy perks were on top of that as well, and it was just incredibly pay to win. But it took me until now to realize just how bad that really was. So take a step back at some point and look at your favorite server, either from today or from the past, and see just how exactly they were scamming you and other players from a pay-to-win experience. And now, with these issues and a few other things like the lacking player base and the crew's disinterest in Minecraft as a whole at the time, the server was only online for about a year. But in that first month, the server allegedly made about $76,000. But each subsequent month, and without the main stars of the server, minus Shadow, who was almost always on the server, the other guys really didn't get on that much, the server died out and became a relic of the past. But a nostalgia trip for some. A user by the name of Death Bunny actually reached out to me in 2017 in an attempt to release a copycat of the server, and later that year and in 2018, I was even a part of that resurgence. But ultimately, without the pull of the OG owners and the small player base, the server quickly faded out yet again. And it actually may seem surprising to you that servers were having these issues back then, even all of those years ago, but it is a reality and the effects of which are still being felt today. Minecraft even tried to stop these servers by changing the EULA many years ago when Notch was still there. It didn't work out so well, so they reverted it, but look where we are now. Take a look at Invadedlands, owned by one of the biggest creators in Minecraft, Skeppy. It has an absolutely insane amount of pay-to-win in their store, selling things like fly and overpowered kits in their store, and a largely impressionable fan base. I can only assume it makes an ungodly amount of money for their staff team and him every single month. Thankfully, they were on the forefront of the minds when it comes to the duping and destroying pay-to-win server crowd, so they're always getting their piece of deserved criticism and action upon them. But again, these servers are owned by and use the already sometimes crazed fan bases of large creators to suck the life out of their pockets and their fans is absolutely disgusting, some of the worst in the game. And although there aren't many of them, that is where decent creators come in. Those who have a platform to talk out against these bad actors and practices, like the Mr. Epic and his server, the OG Network. This is one of the best non-pay-to-win servers that offers a classic Minecraft experience and whose ranks stay within the realms of cosmetic at honestly pretty reasonable prices for to keep their server afloat. And they do this without going off into the path that leads to the most greed with people when they own servers. Seriously, this isn't sponsored and I don't even know the Mr. Epic personally, but it is just an amazing example of servers doing it right where it counts right now. There are so many servers out there doing the wrong thing, and if anyone tells you that no server can stay alive without pay to win, show them the OG network. They should set an example for everyone else, an absolute case study on how to do things right. I think this should be a wake-up call to a lot of creators out there right now that are sitting there looking at it like, hey, I can make money off a Minecraft server by just buying some devs, getting some people to work on it, and then putting it in my back pocket and forgetting about it. You need to take a look at your servers and see exactly what's going on in them. I have reached out and contacted a few server owners in the past that are content creators that had absolutely no idea what their server was doing. They would get on and play every once in a while, maybe make a couple videos so the player base would stay afloat, but they wouldn't take a deep dive into their servers to see just exactly how their player base is being scammed with overly pay-to-win items that completely ruin the game for everyone who doesn't want to pay. So if you're a server owner or a player who plays on one of these servers right now, I would definitely think about taking a step back and seeing how you're affecting the community as a whole. Anyway, guys, that's where I'll leave it off for the discussion today. Hopefully you got a bit of a nostalgia trip and maybe even a wake-up call to look back at the servers you once looked through rose-colored glasses like I did and you likely have before. Thank you again for watching, getting your daily dose of vitamin P. Thank you all again for 2,000 subscribers on the channel. I cannot thank you guys enough for the support. If you want more videos like this, I've been posting a lot more like this recently. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out and take care.